So Rob, I guess first of all, how do you feel about that draw and the opponents that are in there? So if you get there, how are you feeling about that?
Well, first and foremost, we've got to get there. We've got to beat Finland at home, and then play the winners of the other playoff in Poland, Estonia. So we've got two big games first and foremost. But when you dream of becoming a footballer as a kid, you want to play against top teams. You want to play against top players. And those teams that are drawn in that group certainly fall into that category. They're the best teams in Europe, aren't they? And well respected in football, in the world of football, and rightly so. So for us to get there will be a big achievement. But then, to look forward to playing those teams is incredible for the players again.
That's a big incentive for the players going into the playoffs, knowing now that they've got some really tasty encounters coming.
Absolutely, yeah. They want to play against teams like that. So that's our incentive. We'll be fully focused on March to get the games won, and then, like I said, what a carrot that is to go into that group.
Can you allow yourself to think far ahead, or does it have to all be about? Do you even start thinking about how you stop Mbappe at this point, or
no, absolutely not. No. We're fully focused on the Finland game. We'll do a little bit of work on the other two teams as well, just in case, but full focus on Finland and getting that job done first.
Well, one random one before we go back to the football. Did you hear what was going on in the draw hall? It sounded like there was some odd noises going on in there. You didn't hear any
wasn't aware of it.
Nor did we. That's okay. I just wanted to check if you had. On the playoffs, obviously this will be, if you make it, this will be the second time Wales have gone in via the playoffs. Will it help having those big competitive games so soon before the tournament?
I think so. I think the lads pretty much the same lads as what we had for the Austria game and the Ukraine game. I think it's important you strip the emotions out of it and just play football against them, and I think we handled it really, really well. And then the big players on the occasion stepped up and delivered. So it's a different team, different squad. We're in transition. I'm trying to introduce some of the young players in. And people like Brennan and Harry Wilson, who's come into some form recently, certainly against Croatia. And Brennan now, playing in the Premiership week in, week out, will hold us in good stead, hopefully, for those moments.
And on the preparation side of it, are you able to kind of do things like identify a training base?
Yeah.
That is all stuff you can still
Absolutely.
do?
Yeah.
Have you kind of got one in mind? I know you may not be able to share it, but
we've
got a plan.
We've got a few in mind. So I think the plan is maybe to come out in January. We have to plan now. We can't leave it until the end of March. We have to plan as if we've qualified and go and pick our training base. Similar to the World Cup. In hindsight, would we do things differently? Probably. Yeah, we might not pick the same. Not so much the training ground, but the hotel and things like that. But because we got to the party late, we were limited to what we had. So we need to be on the front foot, hit the ground running, and make sure that all the facilities are right for us.
And how important to have the fans on your side in Cardiff for those two playoff games,
massive.
And then in the tournament here.
Yeah, it's massive, absolutely massive. Pleased for the supporters first and foremost, that if we do manage to qualify, that it's great for our supporters. We've had, off the back of 2016, we've qualified for another Euros, but because of COVID, limited the travel. The World Cup was very difficult for our supporters to get to, and respect for the supporters who actually got out there. So for them to have a tournament that's close by, well organised, even just seeing the show here tonight is fantastic. So you know what the tournament's going to be like. So for our supporters to experience that will be an extra bit of incentive for us to go and get the results.
Great, thank you, Rob.
Cheers.